We're Eternals. We came here 7,000 years ago to protect humans from the deviants.
Why didn't you guys help fight Thanos? Or any war, or all the other terrible things throughout history?
We were instructed not to interfere in any human conflicts unless deviants are involved.
By who?
This film spans the millennia and around the world. But for me, the most exciting thing that it takes place in Camden for one little bit, because I spent so much time there. How was it filming outside Camden Market on this massive Marvel blockbuster? I'm guessing you never thought that would happen.
Yeah, do you know what? When my agents rang me about this one, I was like, where's it filmed, by the way? And they were like, in Camden, I think. I was like, so you're telling me there's a Marvel movie that I'm going to be in that films 20 minutes from my house? It's not usual that happens. It was great because I got to film with Gemma and Richard on Camden High Street, where we all used to go out when we were a bit younger. So there was a real thrill to that, actually.
That was it. Yeah. It was kind of surreal on set because we were standing in the street going, we're at work now, because we kind of got drunk around here and hung out there quite a lot.
Yeah.
Plenty, actually. So that was quite, it was really nice, actually, because we're all friends, from before this movie anyway. So it was really kind of pleasant just to be in Camden. And I got to kind of hang off wires above the bridge in Camden and thought, I've walked this bridge 100 times, but I've never seen it from this angle.
And you must both be used to now chasing after something that's a tennis ball on a stick. That's just natural. It's an everyday thing now, isn't it?
I actually prefer it to working with actors now. I'm kidding. No, it's quite good. It's weird. I think it was the craziest day was they had a revolving stand on the ground that was about 15 foot tall, and on the top of that was a green duvet. And I'm supposed to fly in and grab the duvet and spin around, and you're just like, this is what I do for a living now.
No, look, it's always a bit of a challenge, isn't it? Because it's always some green ball or some kind of mark just above the camera. I mean, as actors, we get more and more used to that. But it's just part of your role nowadays. But I think, generally speaking, there's so many films now that seem to be filmed in big green boxes where everything's just invented and you have to imagine everything. At least we were in Camden filming on location, which is really important to Chloe. Yeah. And there was just one element that you had to imagine.
What particular moment stood out for you? What was your favorite location or sequence to film?
The Aztec. I'm sorry, I'm biased, but also I love that scene. I'm talking to Angie and everybody's there. It's an important moment in the film. And I'm glad it happened in the Aztec.
Yeah, it was very good. I love the whole sequence in Druig's compound, just because that was my first week of shooting. And I remember walking onto set and being like, wow, this is real. This is real big budget filmmaking, because there's a real forest and then they built all these structures in it. And I'd never shot anything like that.
It was part of the beauty of shooting in real locations.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously there's a lot of CGI because it's a Marvel film, but there's so many beautiful natural landscapes in this film as well. Does that help when it comes to the set pieces, that you're not in this big green box, you're actually there physically?
Oh, it helps a lot. It creates an atmosphere. I gotta say though, that one thing that was surprising to me, a lot of that was shot around London, and there's so many beautiful woods in London. There's so many different, kind of completely different one from the other. And I live here, and I was like, wow, I don't know this place at all.
Yeah. And then some we shot in the Canary Islands too,
some
but
in
there's
Spain,
so much gorgeous stuff right around here.
Gemma, obviously this isn't your first time in the MCU. So on set, were you just being like, this is how you do it, guys? We do this.
No,
I wasn't. You know what? They're very different films, very different productions. We did have some crew from Captain Marvel that were on Eternals as well, which was really nice to have those familiar faces. But no, I mean, the main thing for me was that I wasn't painted blue this time. So that was a bonus.
Did it feel different this time around, Gemma, considering it's only been a few years since Captain Marvel, but it feels the MCU's moved on a lot more?
Yeah, I mean, from that film, which obviously had the first female lead, Amazing Brie Larson, to this, it feels like it has only been a couple of years, but it feels natural. It feels like it's about time, and hopefully we'll get to a point where, you know, having a diverse cast like this is just, you know, part of the course and not a big deal.
Yeah, definitely. What I liked about your role in this, you get to brush off your comic chops a little bit. You were so good in 7 Days in Hell, but you don't get that much chances to be a slightly lighter character. Was that fun for you as well?
Yeah, it was. You know, it was one of the things I spoke to Chloe about when coming onto this film. I came on quite late, and I said, just character-wise, it's really important for me that he's got a bit of a lighter touch, because I've spent, just personally for me, I've spent a long time playing very intense characters, navel-gazing characters, you know. And I think what he represented in this movie was a side of humanity you're supposed to really like. So I wanted him to be unfazed, cool, but also like have a bit of humor about him.
No, it was quite fun. We had some nice prep time with the director beforehand, where we kind of all talked about, like, were you in ancient Egypt, and did anyone go to ancient Rome, or what was happening in this time period? And that was quite fun, just to kind of play with ideas and piece together what pairings we were like, what groups stayed together over the ages who'd not seen each other for a long time. And that was quite a fun kind of thing to explore.
No, I do think, yeah, definitely Chloe, you know, you look at The Rider and you look at Nomadland, and Chloe's all about, you know, genuine, raw, real. And I think she nailed it in the cast and in terms of everyone. You know, everyone feels right in the part, and you know, I think that's a credit to her and the casting director.
This film as well, it achieves a lot of firsts for Marvels. It's not just the diverse cast, there's the first sex scene in a Marvel movie, etc. How does it feel to know that you're all part of Marvel history now? That must make it feel different on set and when you're filming it.
So it's less when we were filming and more now that you kind of take a step back and go, oh wow, this is really important. But kind of rather than making history out of it, we just felt like a natural progression of where Marvel was and where they were going,
where
and
they're evolving to.
Continue to.
Yeah.
It does, it feels incredible. It's a whole fresh new take, and I think it's the right take. You know, and hopefully everyone loves it, and yeah, it is. It's something new for Marvel, which is great as well, and it's brought to you by the best filmmaker, Chloe, as well.
Yeah. I mean, for me, the exciting thing is it went to Camden, which I spent so much of my youth in. So that's the key thing. Seeing that in a Marvel film is great. Also, this is the film that sets a lot of firsts for Marvel. It's not just a diverse cast. There's a gay character for the first time. There's a sex scene. How does it feel to be part of MCU history? Like, this is always going to be the first, but hopefully not the last.
I have this strange sensation that this is the film that I belong to, you know, which I don't know what it says to me, maybe because I'm a rebel and I like to fight for different things, and this is so special. But it's an honor. Like, you know, I used to complain, like, how come they never call me for these films? How come I'm never going to be a superhero? And I'm so grateful that nobody can thank you for not thinking about me, you people, because then I wouldn't have been able to.
I'm guessing when they came to you for this, both of you, it must have been, when Marvel comes calling, you don't say no, I'm guessing.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I didn't know anybody else who was cast yet. I just was a huge fan of Chloe's and of Marvel. I've watched all the movies multiple times, so it was very easy for me. You know, I went in and they took 40 minutes to tell me the whole plot. And they said, what do you think? And I was like, wait, what are you asking me? What is the question? And they said, do you want to be in the movie? And I was like, yes. And you never say that, because then you don't have leverage, because you want to be like, oh, I can walk away if you don't, you know, give me a good deal. But I was like, yes, I'll do it. Had no leverage.
And they don't show you the script. You have to sign that contract without seeing the script.
Yeah.
When they told me first, I didn't think I was going to be one of the superheroes. I thought I was going to play someone's mother or nanny, or God knows, you know.
I mean, yeah, it's Marvel, like, you know, and it's Marvel and Chloe Zhao. So for me, it was, I remember I was in LA and going to the woods. I was like, this scene is set in the woods, and we went to the woods and we got a camera and we're filming in you know, trees, and there was leaves in my face and stuff like that. And but like, I was trying to get across, you know, I was like, will I do it with my own accent? Will I not? And but you know, because I think they wanted to see, could I get something across? And so yeah, it was the casting and the audition tape was quite interesting, if it ever gets out there. But yeah, I'm in the woods in LA trying to, like, well, not woods, but in some trees in LA trying to, you know, set the background and stuff.
But you ended up playing a male character from the comics as well. That's even something better as well, I imagine.
No. When you imagine if you're sitting and this director that I really admire and respect, not only it's a big movie, as an actor, you want to do either something big and epic or something that it's meaningful and artful with an amazing director. And this movie is it's like that rare jewel that has both. And this woman is saying to me, oh, you know, we're doing the Eternals. Your character is one of the Eternals. Like the superhero? I mean, like, am I like, what do you mean at the Eternal? Yeah, you're one of the superheroes. I'm the superhero? Yes. And I said, okay. And actually, you're the leader. I said, me? She goes, yes. I said, why? What made you think of me? And she started telling me why, and she never thought of anyone else, and she really wanted me. And I'm like, so in shock. And then she goes, and I said, well, what is it? Can I read the comics? And she goes, well, in the comics, it's a man, but now it's going to be a woman and you're going to be playing it. And to me, it sounded like a surreal thing, you know, like, am I on drugs? What is happening?
And as with all Marvels, there's always the hint of something more. And I know obviously you can't say anything about what your potential future may hold, but have you been told anything, or was it very much, let's get you established in this film and then we'll see how it goes?
It's very much the latter. Like, it honestly is. It's kind of like, this is who you're playing in this movie. You can look at what you want on the internet and see who he might be and get excited about that. But the way I live my life is trying to live in the present, especially with work. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm Dane Whitman in this movie, and, you know, go and see the movie and you might find out a bit more.
It's such an incredible cast and they're all playing these massive superpowered heroes. Was there a little bit of jealousy that you were like just the human in this one and you couldn't get to do anything fancy or splashy?
I think they were jealous of me. They were like, wait a minute, you don't have to get into an uncomfortable costume and you're filming 20 minutes from your house. I was like, I felt like I got the good deal in this. But no, of course, I wanted to be part of this, the MCU and this franchise, to hopefully have a future where there's a bit more to Dane than him being a human. So I hope that's coming down the line.
I won't say anything, you know, because I know Kevin Feige is watching. So no, yeah, it's for people who've seen the film and that they'll understand what's to come and that. But yeah, I'm keeping my mouth closed. I'm not saying anything. No way.